How you feeling today?
It's good to get in here and work and, get back out on the ice and meet with the players and go over some stuff. So I think that's always a good thing as opposed to just sitting. I think you always feel better after you go out and work. And, like I told the players, I thought we could have done things a lot better in the first period. I thought we did things really well in the second period, and the third period was up for grabs, and it didn't go our way. So
the process of digesting the game, how much time do you like to spend on it the next day, and then how quickly do you try to move to the next task?
Yeah, rarely do I talk to the players after the game because everybody's angry and emotional. They are, I am, and so I stay away from that. But the next day, the work's done by the time they get in here, and whatever the message might be, I think it's the time to address things then and put it to bed and move forward and get out on the ice and get ready for the next day. And so, again, you go and look at what we gave up and what we created. They're not too far off. We lost the game, and granted, the first period could have been better. We were really good in the second, third period, and so that's hockey. You're talking about. If you can win 55% of the game as opposed to 45, you might win the game. Well, last night I probably think we're on a little bit of the shorter end of it.
I tried to ask this last night about Igor, and I know you up and downs throughout the season.
Yeah.
Playing with the team and such. But do you, a guy's been in the league for a number of years and is super hard on himself. Do you still have to worry about, him taking it too hard and being too hard on himself?
I think players always, care about how they play and what they're doing on the ice for sure. And we talked this morning, and we've got a tremendous amount of confidence and faith in him. I know his teammates do. I know what his resume says and what he's done in the past. And I still think, even in last night's game, this isn't just, based on the games that we played in front of him recently, this isn't just, me throwing something at you. I think that there's things that we could have done better. We could have had a better first period. We could have played a lot better in Washington. And even though we pushed in Ottawa defensively, I said that night, we were trying to win the game, but we were doing it at the expense of not playing good defense. And so I think there's things that there's chances, and then there's, breakaway chances and 3-on-1 chances, and we got to just clean some of that up. And so that's on us and me. And so I know everybody wants to play well, and he certainly does. He's an elite goaltender, and we have a tremendous amount of confidence in him.
Peter, I asked because I'm from a Connecticut paper. Can you describe what you were hoping Nick and Jonathan would bring to the team, and particularly in the locker room, and to what degree they've met or maybe exceeded those expectations that you had?
Jonathan Quick,
right,
and Nick Bonino. Both of these guys are veteran players that have been champions. They've got a level of championship experience and success that any team would want to add. Jonathan's career has been amazing. The fact that he's, found himself two-time Stanley Cup champ, three-time Stanley Cup champion, really carrying the ball in LA, and his work ethic, the quality of person he is, that's a really good addition to your team. And he's come in here and he's really played well. He hasn't disappointed in any way. And there's a calmness to him. There's a work ethic and a character thing to him. So when you're bringing that into your team, it's a really good thing. Nick, I've worked with before. You're talking about somebody who thinks the game really well. Real smart defensive player, good in the face-off circle, very reliable on the penalty kill, courageous. And again, a guy who's won. And so you're bringing people that have found success on how to have a team be successful and be part of that. And we brought those pieces into our room.
Adam said last night that this process of getting back acclimated, it was almost like the start of the season where he's learning the reads and everybody's played 10 more games. Just how close do you think he is to, I guess, being back?
I do think there's something to that. Anytime you take some time off, you're stepping onto a moving train. Some nights the train moves faster than other nights, and on the quick nights it really gets going. I do see him getting better and more confident. Like that, even as the game went on last night, I just was noticing him more and more making plays inside the tight areas, being able to look people off and find space to make plays and deliver. So I think the more time he gets, that small time and small space that he gets to do those things, for him probably even becomes greater because he's becoming more confident, more comfortable. But I think he's come back and he's played fine. But I do think there's something to that, and the more he plays, the better he'll feel and continue to get better.
Speaking of Quick and what he's done for you, he is 8-1. I mean, is there a thought of maybe getting a little bit more ice time?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of games coming up. There's back-to-backs, and so I think it's naturally going to happen. You know, we've got, like I said, about both goaltenders that were asked about today. There's a tremendous amount of confidence in both goalies, and so that's a really good situation for our organization. But I think just based on the schedule, I think you'll see the goaltenders both get time here.
Just in a bigger picture sense of the season so far, can you kind of identify what almost the identity of the team is when you're playing at their best? Like, this is what we need to be.
Yeah, I mean, when we're on top of it, we're playing fast, we're competing hard. I do think that the defense is good. We just played LA, which is for me a kind of a high octane team, and we did a really good job defensively of just limiting them and just kind of methodically going through the game and looking for our offensive chances. Specialty teams are good, but for me, when we're moving things fast, the puck, our mind, our legs, and when we're competing on pucks hard, that's when we're at our absolute best.
Just to check in on Phil,
Sure.
Is there anything, any updates on either Phil or Capo?
Nothing that's really changed in the last couple of days. They're working, they're training in different ways, but both improving and getting better.
Is Phil still skating on his own, or is
He
he not
is.
skating?
He is, yeah,
And Capo, I presume, is not skating?
correct.
Is there any sort of timetable you can give us with Capo? Like, is it weeks, months?
I think we listed it as
He's on LTIR.
LTIR, which has an actual set factor of numbers in there, or games. And so that's the minimum right there.
All right. Yes, sir.
Thank you. Go ahead.
I don't want to certainly pry on any personal stuff, but
Sure.
DeAndre, do you have any kind of an inkling, like, is he be back soon, or is he maybe, for the weekend? Like, do you have any kind of idea with that?
I'm just gonna leave that alone as what we said yesterday.